If you live near the ocean, don't read this post. Just to be safe. A friend sent me this email. I read it and made the decision to post it here. I'm sorry. I need you to post this everywhere, okay? Please. It'll make sense why. I promise. My wife loves the ocean. We live by it, sort of. We live by a harbor that leads into the ocean. So we don't get to stare at nothing but water forever. My wife wanted a place by the ocean proper, but it freaked me out. I gave a lot of excuses that were plausible, you know. What about rising ocean levels because of the climate change? We'll get flooded. And we'll lose the house if there's a really bad hurricane, you know. That kind of things. I didn't tell her because I think the ocean is abso-fucking-lutely terrifying. Because she loves me. And she wants me to be happy. She wouldn't have moved out here if she knew. But I love her too. And I want to see her happy without putting me first. So I thought getting a place tucked into a harbor would be a good compromise. We moved out here, where the salt air peels the paint off our shingles, and the fog sweeps in, mornings and evenings. I'm usually okay with the harbor. I treat it like one big lake. A big, salty lake that has seals sometimes. My wife was so much happier than before, so for a while it was worth it. She likes to walk along the beach. I don't like walking along the beach, so my wife usually goes alone. We were planning to get a dog, so she could go on walks with it. I usually make the dinner, so she goes while I'm cooking and returns in time for when it's ready. Last night, she missed the dinner. She's been late a couple of times, but usually she texts me. She knows I worry. She didn't text me, so I worried. After half an hour, I sucked it up and went looking for her. The fog was dense. I really got to stress that out. You couldn't see 5 feet in front of you. It wasn't fully dark out yet, but the grey made the visibility even worse. I brought a flashlight and had my cell phone out, and kept telling myself it was too early to call the cops. I called for her a couple of times. Felicity? Felicity! Adrian? Hearing my own name in her voice made me want to burst. And I just started running towards the sound. I almost slipped on the rocks by the beach, but she caught me. I was worried. I was so worried. Why didn't you text me? I admit, I should have been more composed. But I wasn't really thinking straight. It ate my cell phone. I honestly wasn't sure what I expected to hear. And it's not that I thought she was joking with me, but I was very confused. What? She pointed, and through the fog I could see the shape of something. Like I mentioned, we sometimes get seals but not, say, walruses. Which was my first thought since it was not nearly big enough to be a beached whale. Then I realized that it wasn't a walrus either. Its skin was super pale, like those animals that lives in caves. Almost translucent. I could see thick dark veins even through the fog, but that was about all I could pass. I literally had no idea what I was looking at, which is basically what I said. The hell is that? I don't know, she said. And that's when I noticed how calmly she sounded. Almost dreamlike. It was weird. She barely opened her mouth when she spoke.
But it ate my phone when I tried to take a picture of it. Then I got into an argument with it. But it is fine now.
For a second I felt relieved that there was at least an explanation why didn't she text, before the rest of it hit me square in the what the fuck? Thinking she might have a concussion or something, I tried to stay calm. What do you mean you got into your argument? At that second the sound came from the thing, and the creepiest thing about it, how soft and sweet the sound was. It was this big strange animal that barely moved in the fog, and it had opened its toothless mouth so wide my whole head could have fit in there. But the sound that came out of it wasn't some deep bellow. It was like a little child saying, "Ah," for the dentist. My wife turned to the thing and said,
I know. I'm going to explain.
"Can you please explain over there?" I tried to pull her, but she wouldn't move.
It doesn't want us to know it exists.
There was a sudden squelching moment as something big and wet slapped the pavement, and the thing made a sound like a little squeak. I couldn't see properly through the fog, but there was absolutely no way I was going to get any closer to it. I tried to whisper to her, "But isn't that ship already sailed?"
Humans. It doesn't want humans to know it exists. It comes to the shore to eat. Whenever we saw it, we tried to tell the others. It began to eat those things too. It ate our drawings on barks and carvings in stone. It ate our woodcuts and inked maps. It ate our radio signals. It ate our photographs. So, it ate my phone. To eat right at the source.
I decided to try to wrap my hand around eating radio signals later, when we were safe. "So, we don't tell anyone. Problem solved."
No, because we'll remember. But if we die, it will make more humans suspicious. Others will search for it, like you searched for me. And it is full. It is so full.
The thing that made the humming noise, and I recognized what it sounded like. It sounded like my wife doing the baby talk. "Honey, how do you know what it wants?"
Because it ate my tongue,
she said, simply and calmly. And I could see in the dim misty light her eyes wide with fear.
It replaced it with one of its children.
She opened her mouth wide, and for the first time I could see inside her mouth, and something slimy and pale was squirming in there.
You won't tell anyone, right? You won't tell anyone about it. This was the only way it would let me walk away. You'll protect me, Adrian, right? You'll protect me.
I took her home. We climbed into bed. She put on a mask, I think to make me feel better. I struggled to fall asleep, obviously. I thought about it for a long time, at that beach in that fog. I meant what I said when I promised the thing I wouldn't tell anyone about it. I thought we could figure this out. We could learn sign language, so she wouldn't have to use her mouth. But for those agonizing hours when I knew she was also wide awake beside me, my wonderful, lovely Felicity, infected with a parasite on the whims of that asshole from the deep. My fear and my shock transformed into a full-on bone deep rage until even that was exhausting. I did eventually pass out. When I woke up, it was noon. Our bed was damp, and there were water droplets all over the floor. My wife is not in the house. I don't know when she'll be back. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. I think she's still alive, but I think she's being held hostage. As long as that thing is alive, my wife and I will be prisoners. Now, at this point, you may be wondering why I'm sending you this. Maybe it'll eat the internet too. But I don't think so. She said it was already full. I think the only reason I still have my ton is because it was too full to eat it too. I'm calling it bluff. I know it's selfish to risk, but I'm not going to let that thing get away with what it did to Felicity. I am terrified, but I'm not going to let my fear rule me. After I send you this, I'm going to find my wife, rip that tongue out of her, and then kill that thing. But I need to keep it distracted. So post this for me, will ya? Spread the word. Overwhelm it. Wish me luck. Hey everyone, this is my 5th story in the channel now. If you like this kind of stories, please consider subscribing to the channel. And a thumbs up will make my day. Until next time, sleep well.